This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Mike Murphy.
Thanks, Charlie. Yes, I'm Mike Murphy, host of the Good Neighbor Podcast. We talk to local businesses, nonprofits, anybody in the community really who I think you need to know more about and need to meet. Today with me in my virtual studio, I've got three new friends. These are people that I desperately want you guys to know more about. They're doing great work in the community, and they've got a new facility that I had the pleasure of visiting not that long ago during their grand opening event. It's a wonderful place, and what we'll do today is we'll introduce you to perspectives, skills for life. Now, that can mean a lot of things, and we're going to find out what that means specifically. So today with me from Perspectives are, we've got Deb Geers, Amy Reed, and Mary Erickson. And so, not in any particular order, I'm just going to ask you, ladies, what is Perspectives? And let's just start the conversation there. If you introduce Perspectives to somebody who knows nothing about it, what do you say?
Perspectives is a community. It's a community for individuals who have developmental differences to come and learn daily living skills, social skills, and career readiness skills. It's an answer to a call in the community for services for people from 11 on up to receive some help in skill development and to feel like they belong someplace.
Okay. Well, I was very impressed with the building and what you've built there. And it also bred a lot of curiosity, like, okay, what's this room used for? Oh my, they've got a lot of computers here. Wow, this is a media room, with some very nice custom chairs and, very comfortable. Bubble walls, all sorts of things, It's a very aesthetically pleasing place and a very warm place to visit. So
that's what we wanted to hear.
Yeah, well,
we hope that's what everyone feels.
Yeah, you've nailed it, at least by the Mike Murphy standard. So, so congratulations to you. I was very impressed by what I saw. So let's start out with just quickly, each of you, what are your individual backgrounds that brought you to Perspectives?
So I'm Amy. I have been actually working with these amazing women for almost 17, 18 years. Started in a school. So my background is in education now for 17, 18 years, starting in a preschool and then helping to open up and run a preschool through 8th grade school and just watching these amazing kids grow and seeing the need that some of these kids needed outside of a school environment, just to make the friends and maintain the friends. So I saw passion in these two ladies and I followed it and couldn't be prouder to be on a team with them because they know how to meet these kids where they are and the need that is out there. And I'm so happy to be a part of that.
Mary, how about you?
So I'm a speech pathologist by trade. I have done everything from early childhood to elderly. And the teenage years are kind of where my passion has always been. I love puzzles. And, you've met one teenager with special needs and you've met one teenager with special needs, and that's it. So I love meeting the kids, where they're at. I love trying to figure out what makes them tick and how we can improve things. I love seeing their eyes light up when they, pick up a new skill or they do something they didn't think they could do. So that age group for me, the teen, I would say 11 and up, has always been something that I've specifically loved. But, really just working with kids with developmental differences is something that keeps me on my toes. And we, like they said, we saw a need. There are a lot of amazing programs in this community. The schools do a great job. There's lots of therapies and things like that. But we really wanted to touch more on the skills that maybe they don't have time to do, right? So in the schools, they're working on those academics and all the educational needs, and that's great. And the therapies, they are very specific to what they need. We really saw a need for socialization and career readiness and those daily living skills that, mom and dad are working, or, grandparents aren't allowed, can't help them out right there. We're able to, with this amazing facility, work on those daily living skills that will help them become a little bit more independent, whatever that looks like for each child. So, so I a little bit of a unique perspective in that I'm a speech pathologist, so I can help with some of the language, if that's an issue, or executive functioning skills and things like that. So, but everyone here is trained to do everything that I can do. So we have a great team here, and we're really excited just to work with as many kids as we can and families.
So then, Deb, I believe you're the executive director of Perspectives. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's it's a big responsibility.
Very big responsibility. It's a lot of fun. It's very challenging. I started my career as a special education teacher, K-12 in Indiana, and moved over here to Kentucky, and just really found that is my love, is working with people with developmental differences and trying to help them find their path in life and build those skills that used to start for me when I was teaching with the academics and the social emotional development, and now kind of putting that all together and working on daily living skills, social skills, and career readiness skills. I went from there and started preschool, and then started a school, and had been principal there for a long time, and saw the need for, we could set up a perfect situation for a student with a developmental difference and have people to sit with them in class, people to help them in class, people to sit with them at lunch and recess. But they didn't have necessarily the skills that they needed to fully participate in the conversation or in the activity. And it was really pulling at my heartstrings that we talk about educating the whole child. And we were really leaving part out that was hard for us to hit. So we needed to open a place in the community that could pull the community together as one and have families and students and teens and young adults come in, but then also have the community embrace them and be supportive of their efforts of trying to develop more further and trying to make a great life for themselves, but feel the support from their families, from their friends, from the schools, and then have us be that little niche that they can call and get support, and we can provide the services that they need.
Well, all three of you do the programs that you run there great justice. I mean, you obviously know your stuff, and I think a lot of that comes from passion, not just education, but having worked with the kids directly too, that just shows you how important what you're doing is. Now, when I think of Perspectives, and I've only really known about you guys for just a small handful of months, and there are programs I know that come to mind, and there may be others above and beyond these, but three that I kind of wanted to let you guys talk a little bit about would be, I think, Peers, STRW. I don't know if you refer to that as straw internally or not. And Launch. Now, those are three individual types of programs that you're running there, correct?
Yes.
Is one more important than the other? Are there others that you're running too that are equally as important? What do you have there, and what are the differences between these programs?
So our STRW program is the foundation that we're looking at. It's a program written by Dr. Amy Duncan from Children's, and we're the only ones right now in this area that are certified to teach the STRW program. And it teaches daily living skills, everything from getting out of bed in the morning to personal hygiene to laundry, cooking, those basic things that a lot of us take for granted that we can just do easily. It's a very direct one-on-one program, and it just helps build that confidence and that, look, I can take care of myself, and that first step towards independence. So the STRW program has been crucial for us and very crucial for the kids and the teens to really learn and focus on I really can do this myself, and I don't need mom or dad or a caretaker to prompt me every 5 minutes to do things.
And I think
that
yeah.
road to independence.
Yeah, and I think it's been a little eye-opening for parents as well that, hey, we can teach your child to do this so that it takes some of the pressure off you, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen some of the most progress with the kids that we didn't think would do very well with it, but you give them that that responsibility and hold them accountable. And our families have been great. The ones who are really into it and want to see the progress.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen some kids just soar. And so that's exciting because we see kids who, and I think the parents are seeing that their kid can be even more independent than they even imagined, which, as a parent, that makes you feel good. That's what we want for our kids, is for them to feel successful and able to do things, without us, hand holding them, no matter how old they are. So STRW's been a great program. I think we've seen a lot of progress, and being able to do it here. It can be done virtually, which is amazing part of that program. But because we have the facility we do, where we have the demo apartment and we have a kitchen, we're able to do a lot of the skills here, which makes it a little more personal, which is a great aspect of that program as well.
Yeah, when I took a tour of the building there, that really stood out to me. I wasn't expecting to go in and see a functioning kitchen. I wasn't expecting to see washer and dryer. But then when I kind of understood, what you're doing there, then it all made perfect sense. And that's a great blessing to have access to all that right there under one roof. So what about peers? What's the peers program?
Program teaches basic social skills, how to initiate a conversation, how to maintain a conversation, how to work your way into a conversation. We're finding that a lot of the teens and young adults that we've been working with are very lonely, because the simple skill for us that seems very simple of starting a conversation like we are right now is very hard for a lot of individuals to do. So it's breaking down the steps and teaching them the steps they need to be able to be as social as they can possibly be, and to initiate that conversation with someone. And some of these kids and teens and young adults are making phone calls and texts for the first time with people their age. And I can't tell you what that does for their self-esteem and what it's doing for their parents. And the great part of the peers program and the STRW program and the launch program is there's a parent or a caregiver component to all of them. So as the teens and young adults are learning the skills, the caregivers are learning the skills at the same time to be able to reinforce everything that teen or young adult is learning. Then they can go home and practice. And it's really a win-win for the caregiver and for the teen.
Yeah. Well, face it. I mean, a lot of the things you guys have mentioned in the past 10 minutes are skills that many of us,
We all need.
maybe are a little lacking in, including some self-confidence type stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember when my adult daughter was afraid to make her own doctor appointment. And so, I mean, that's kind of a common thing for people,
Sure is.
the first time doing whatever, and you've got to actually do it to get comfortable with it. So what is launch?
Career readiness program. So we start right from wherever a child is, and I say child, but wherever a teen or young adult is, are they trying to explore career opportunities and look at what is a possible job that I can do, to doing mock interviews, to resumes. We're also working on adding some other curriculums to the launch program, where if they're going into food service, we can get a job description and have them master some of the tasks that they're going to have to do at work before they go. It has a job coaching component to it as well. So we're really wanting to work with the community and say, hey, these are great individuals that can offer a lot to you. Are you willing to hire them, provide them with a mentor, and let them get a taste of that working environment, and be part of a team? And my guess is the gift is going to be greater to those who hire these individuals than it is to the individual themselves.
I think one thing that we've noticed is that, there are great businesses, local businesses out there that are willing to hire these kids, but they don't know what to expect, right? And so with us kind of trying to partner with these, we're hoping that we can partner with them and we can have them be trained here where it's quiet and free of distractions to begin with, so that they can be more successful once they actually get into that environment. I think Deb said it perfectly. We just want to be a support for these kids, whether they're here during our programs, but even once they leave. We just want to have kind of an open door, policy where they can call us if they get into trouble at work and they're like, I'm not sure what to do. Or I had somebody who texted me and they want to get together. I don't know what to say, So we try and keep the communication very open and very honest with them. And hopefully that will help in the job search and the job keeping, because we know a lot of these kids can get a job, but they have a hard time maintaining it because they don't know what to do when something goes awry or if something is unexpectedly, comes up and they're, maybe not sure how to handle it. So that's kind of what we're hoping with the launch program, is just to get them started, but also once they're there, to get them to feel more comfortable about talking to their employers and talking to authority and knowing what's appropriate and what's not. So that's where I think she said, the STRW program is our foundation, because we do talk about personal hygiene and how important that is. And, how you present yourself. And if you're late for work, that doesn't look good, So routines are a huge part of that, but all of it leads into, STRW skills lead into peers, and peers lead into launch, and launch leads into all of them. So we try and think of it as, this is where we are trying to get the whole kit.
That makes perfect sense. And then just in terms of community partners out there that have expressed an interest of hiring some of the, graduates of the program, do you have any that come to mind? Is there anybody out there that you'd want to just kind of shout them out for the heart that they're showing? And
we are working to find a lot of partners. Kroger has been fantastic at hiring people. And we're really trying to change the way that we approach it, in that, yes, we do want to help these individuals get employed, but we want you to be invested in them as a business partner and provide them with a mentor and work with us and things like that, so that we can really ensure success on both sides. We've had a lot of learning opportunities with conversations with a lot of companies, and they really want to hire people with developmental differences and are very open to it and see the gift that they can bring, but want to know exactly what they need to do. So it's training on both sides. It's training the teen or the young adult, but it's also training the individuals that are going to be hiring them. So we are putting a shout out there to look for people who really are interested in hiring, and to contact us, and we will do our best to provide as much support as we can.
Very good. Yeah. At the end of this discussion and on the YouTube video that I'm going to create from this and some social media reels, I'll make sure that it's, very clear on how they can reach out to you. So that's part of the reason for this conversation today, is to put a call to the community out, not only to, tell what you do, but let others know how they can work alongside you. So, Amy, when you walk,
for jobs, so.
Say what again?
We do.
We have kids who are eager to, especially now that spring's coming, to get some jobs. So we put feelers out, but they have their ideas of where they want to work too. So we're really hoping to get a good call from the community.
Okay. Yeah. We just got to get that conversation going. And there's people out there that don't know you're looking for them, that we hope to change that. So, Amy, when you walk in the building every morning, how do you spend the bulk of your day usually?
I got to tell you, Mike, it might seem silly to some people, but my favorite part of the day is walking in here and turning on all the lights, going to the sensory room, turning it on, going to the demo apartment, making sure everything's on and looks good, going to the movie theater and putting on some calming music. First, that's how I start my morning. And frankly, it gives me the best feeling just walking in this building. It's amazing. Most of my day is consumed by operating the building, making sure everything's going okay, keeping track of all of our wonderful members that are coming in, getting the intake calls, helping Deb schedule because she's amazing in doing all the intakes with Mary. And then I actually have my own STRW member that I work with, and she's a beautiful young lady who is looking for a job, so I'm helping her do that. And then I'm going to be working on the launch program, helping these kids get career readiness, working on mock interview skills, learning how to create their resume, even learning how to create Word documents and financial spreadsheets, anything that can help them forward themselves towards that independence in the career and the community. So like Deb said, we are looking for those community partners. And if they can reach out, that would be fantastic. I've talked to a couple I've reached out to a couple people at some neurodiverse companies in Cincinnati. So I'm hoping to reach back out to them. Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce has been amazing in trying to get us some contacts too. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
Okay. So how many kids do you have in the programs right now? How many are enrolled and listed?
Short time that we've been open, we've got a little over 50, but it's a rolling enrollment. So we're adding new classes all the time and new sections of classes.
Okay.
So individuals can call and set up an intake appointment, and we will meet with them for about an hour, hour and a half, and get to know them and really get a sense for what the caregiver is looking for and what the individual themselves are looking for, and then craft a program that is individualized within the programs that we offer.
How have the parents felt about what you've got going on there when they come in and they see you for the first time and they want to know that, you're helping their special children, and, they feel how they feel about them, and they want to make sure that they have found them a soft place to land when it comes to helping them take these next steps. What kind of feedback have you gotten from the parents?
The most common response that we've heard in the caregiver groups is from peers class or straw classes. Oh my goodness, there's other people in that room that really get what I live in, day out, day in and day out, and they understand. And I don't want to hear my child say I'm lonely and I don't have friends and I don't have purpose. And so there's been a lot of relief. There's been a lot of tears, and I think that what perspective stands for me is hope. We all work together with the families, with the individuals, to try and find just a little bit more hope in that we can do things independently. They can be more social, and hope that we can find that level of independence. And I think that's what I've experienced the most from families, is that finally there's a place in Northern Kentucky that specializes the way that we do, and they're finding some hope and maybe not feeling as alone on the journey.
Yeah, hope is a huge, huge thing in all walks of life for anybody. If you have hope, you have some wind behind your sails. If you have no hope, you're sort of dead in the water, I guess, at least temporarily. And so, we're all humans, and we all kind of have our human frailties. And when you have somebody who's, you see them a little down in the dumps, they've kind of given up a little bit, even if temporarily. You've got to have others around them who can lift them up and dust them off and put them back on the right path. So I'm sure that you three are very adept at doing that, not just for the students there, but probably for each other, because you're all human too, and you guys can't afford to have down days when you've got the students coming in the door and giving what you have to do. So I'm sure you support each other in that regard as well.
I think one of the greatest events that one of the greatest events that we've had some teen events, and during one of our teen events, it was a movie event, and we had 3 young ladies who were sitting there talking through the whole movie. And I thought, they should probably be quiet and watch the movie. And I thought, no, they should not be quiet. So we pulled them out in the hallway, and from that, they took some of the skills that they had been exposed to and have been texting each other and calling each other and are getting together and doing things. And we're talking 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and this is the first time they've gotten together with other friends. So you see that desire and that longing and that hope that maybe I can come here and find the skill and find the people who are my people, my tribe. And to see that actually happen is a real gift. And this facility has potential to be a gift to a lot of people.
So you just kind of touched on one of my questions that I had is, is there a success story that kind of stands out, or a proud moment? There may be many, there may be, a few in particular that really stand out. Do you have one that you'd like to share?
I don't know that I have like a specific one, but I think what I've learned, working with this population, you celebrate even the smallest successes. And we see things, I would say, every day that not just surprise us, but also, sometimes things happen that we didn't even anticipate, right? Or they're able to tell us something that we hadn't thought of, right? Or a parent will come in. I have one family who he's 15 and he has a lot of needs and he needs a lot of support, but he is the most joyous person I have ever. He comes in and lights up the entire building. And he's super excited to come. And sometimes that's the success, right? That they just come in through the door, because a lot of our kids, this is the first time they've been kind of urged to do something. And we do put a lot on them. It's a lot of skill development, but we try and make it fun. But not everybody thinks what we think is fun is fun. But by the time they leave, I think they're, I've never seen anybody who left and never came back. So we take that as a great success. We keep seeing them week after week, which is huge. But this one kiddo that I have, he has a lot to learn, but even the littlest things he gets so excited about. And for me, that keeps me motivated, right? Because I can see even if, like I said, the very smallest thing by somebody else's gauge, may not be that big of a deal, but for him, it means the world to him that he can complete something himself. And he's excited to tell his mom, and his mom comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, he's actually doing it at home too. So, a lot of these kiddos aren't crazy about personal hygiene, and getting up in the morning and getting to school is almost impossible for moms and dads. And so it's an argument every morning. And so if we can lighten that a little bit, and I think that's been what I've seen with a lot of my kids is, we put a routine into the works. And if they do it, they get a reward. And for some kids, that's what they need. They just needed a little bit of a motivation to do it. And I have kids who, went to showering once a week and their parents making them, to now they're showering every other day, or they're showering every day and they're wearing deodorant and brushing their teeth. So I think you just have to find the things to celebrate. And sometimes it's easy and sometimes you have to look for it. But like I said, they keep coming back every week. And so for us and for me, that right there is a success in itself.
I think one of the other successes we've seen is we had a student who was interviewing for a volunteer position because he really wants to give back and be part of something. And he got the position, and we got an email from the parent, and she was over the moon that her child was able to give to and volunteer and help other people versus being the one that's being helped. And I just can't wait to come back to the center, and I can't wait for him to continue to grow in the areas that he's already started in. And he's only been here for 5 or 6 weeks, and look how far we've come. So there's success every day, and you really don't have to look that hard for it, because they're little things, but they're big in the eyes of our students and our families.
That student is actually part of one of our peers groups, and he actually announced to everyone in our group that he got this job. And you would have thought he had won the lottery. They were all so excited for him. And good. I think that even helped him, like, okay, I guess I did do a good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, support.
You're teaching and inspiring them, but it sounds like they're doing the same for you as well. So
a lot more for us than
when they walk in the building, it's just the feeling is it's overwhelming. Okay. It's welcoming, it's peaceful. They're just happy to be here.
Good. Makes it all for us. Being part of the nonprofit community in Northern Kentucky has been essential and important. That if there's a student who comes through that we can't meet the needs of, we have other nonprofits and other places that we can call, and they're doing the same. So it is really a unique step into a community that I had not experienced before. We all just want to help. So we want to work together and make this a great community collaboratively for these individuals. And I think the more people who we can get on board with that growth mindset, the better our community overall is going to be. And it's nice to have just one little part in that.
Well, I agree that the nonprofit community, they tend to help one another. They on many different levels. I'm part of a group, and I'm always going to take a opportunity to plug this group when I can. So here we go. Give Where You Live, Northern Kentucky. I'm on the board of advisors for Give Where You Live, and you can learn more about Give Where You Live by going to nkygives.org. And that's a program that would benefit all nonprofits here locally. So that's all I'll say about that is go to nkygives.org and learn more. And your group could benefit from that as well. So I would love to see one or all of you at an upcoming meeting. That's all I'll say about that. But
We'd love to be there.
We'd love to be there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're working on it.
Thanks for giving me that soapbox. So before we wrap up here, I want to make sure that there's no ifs, ands, or buts in terms of how people contact you. So I know there's the website and there's a main phone number there. So let's go ahead and let people know what's the website that they go to learn more about you and what you're doing.
nkyperspectives.org. You can go there. There's a submission form if you want to be part of our newsletter or just an inquiry, asking for your name, email, and best phone number to reach you at. Or you can call 859-980-3930. We can take your call that way and, get to know you a little bit over the phone and then schedule a time to come in.
Well, yeah, a lot of people I think these days naturally want to take a peek behind your curtain before making that phone call even, So the website does a good job. And then I would highly, highly encourage anybody that has an interest to come visit you. And I know you can kind of facilitate that coming in and touring the building and let people just kind of see firsthand how you operate there and what you're doing. So is there anything we haven't discussed before we go that is kind of on your mental punch list to make sure to talk about? So if there is, let's talk about it. We may have done a great job of talking about everything, so I'm not going to argue that. But
I think for me, there's something here for just about everyone. And if we can't meet those needs, we're going to find a place and try our best. But to just take that leap of faith and give us a call is the encouragement that I think some people need. Bring your teen or young adult in with you and just walk around and get a feel for what's here. It's a great place that inspires a lot of hope and a lot of positivity. So it's hard to make those phone calls once in a while because you've kind of been beat down as a parent. That is a caregiver for one of these teens or young adults, but it's worth making the phone call or worth getting on the website and making that inquiry, because what's on the other side of this door when you walk through is pretty incredible. And for someone to take the leap of faith and to build this facility and to let us chase this dream and make it a reality, it's pretty incredible.
kind of humbling, isn't it?
It is very humbling.
Very.
Well, Deb, Mary, and Amy, thank you, ladies, for the great work you're doing in the community. And I'm glad that we could spend some time allowing you to talk to the community about it. And I hope that there are many people out there listening, not only now, but in the coming weeks, months, and years even, because this video is going to be out there quite a while. Living out there in the land of YouTube. And so you're going to be talking to people, we don't know yet, but this has been time well spent, I would say. And so thank you all for what you're doing in the community, and thanks for joining me today. And I look forward to watching Perspectives grow and just continuing to tell your story as it develops. So thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a great day, ladies. And I'll say to the listeners out there, this is the Good Neighbor Podcast. So until we meet again, everybody out there, please be good to your neighbor. So long, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Union. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpunion.com. That's gnpunion.com, or call us at 859-651-8330.